Hello again, folks. It's Akoto, and welcome back to All of Faabric 4. And in today's episode, we're going to get a little bit charming and adorned. Mostly charming. Let's get to it. So in today's episode, we've done quite a bit in the last few episodes with some building. We did some adventuring in the Nether. We did a few other things here and there, sort of exploring our world a little bit. Today, though, I wanted to go over a couple of different mods that we haven't really touched on all that much. We've sort of touched on a little bit, but not a whole lot. And they're mods that basically can make your environment look a lot more aesthetically pleasing, as you can see that I've done to my house in between episodes here. And that is Charm and Adorn. So we're going to be hitting those pretty heavily today. But first, I wanted to actually give you a quick update. Remember how in the last episode I said I wanted our Zeus's staff, which I actually put down here, in one of these... Wait, there was this box. So the Zeus's staff, how I was mentioning that I really wanted this thing to be better than it was. I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty fun right now. But I wanted to add more zeros to it. I wanted it to be even stupider than it was. But I didn't know exactly how to go about doing that. Well, Mister Zam, who, by the way, has his own All of Faabric 4 series going right now on YouTube, and I'll be linking that down in the description so you can go check out his stuff. Thank you very much, Mister Zam. So Mister Zam actually was telling me in the All of Faabric 4 Discord how we need to make this. This is the artifact upgrader. And if you notice, it's a real simple, really simple recipe. You've got 5 obsidian, 3 stone, and an ender pearl. And what it will do is it allows you to upgrade artifacts, filling with incremental blocks, which I'm guessing they're talking about like iron, gold, etc., to tier 2. And then you can throw in nether stars for tier 3. And you can upgrade any artifact from Artifality. So in other words, we can upgrade our regeneration ring. We can upgrade our staff. We can upgrade our invisibility cape to be better versions of what we had before. So we put this on the list of things to make. Unfortunately, I don't think I have any ender pearls right now. No, I do not. So we're going to have to go somewhere, probably into the Nether, into the Warp Forest, where we've got our current Nether portal, and just see if we can find some endermen, slay them, get some more ender pearls, and then we can actually make not only that, but we can make more waystones, more elevators, all of the things you need for ender pearls. Ender pearls are like gold in All of Faabric. Both 3 and 4 ender pearls are just really something that you need tons of for various different things if you want to do things like waystones and elevators and all that. If you don't want to, you don't have to. It's one of those, it's totally an optional kind of thing. You don't have to go into that, but you totally can, and I would suggest doing so, especially just if for no other reason than to make waystones, because it's just so handy to be able to go in here and just basically pick wherever you want to go, and one click, one level, done, and you're there. So I highly recommend that when you get the chance. Another thing that I actually discovered in between episodes here is I actually had someone asking me offline, not in the comments or anything, about questing with this pack. And there is really no quest book. There's a couple of different books that will explain things like the tech mods. Some things will explain like, the Croptopia, but they're just specific books that sort of give you a tutorial of it. Totally forgetting that this even existed. This is the advancements screen. You get to it by pressing L normally. And in this, in All of Faabric 4, you have not only just the regular stuff, like, you have your husbandry and you have your nether and all that, but you also have all of these different tabs up here that will allow you to sort of get involved in all these different kinds of mods. So, for instance, this one's the More Villagers mod. And it has, find a Bastion from the Bastion Explorer map, buy Explorer maps from villagers, level of Villager to Master. I mean, some of the basic stuff, but every villager workstation, it's sort of just got extra things like that. Repurpose structures, you've got a whole bunch of stuff that we've got to do here. New strongholds, new temples, new villages. Like, we found one of the new temples and 2 new villages. We haven't found all of them yet. New ruins, new outposts, all this different kind of stuff. New mansions, because apparently there are other mansions in this particular pack. That you have I believe it's the Savannah Mansion, you have a Jungle Mansion, and a few others that you can actually get to there. End-themed Ruin Portal, which is called the Useless Portal. That's just amusing, and I want to find that. But then you've got things like Backpack Beginnings. So as you can see, we've actually gotten up to the Gilded Backpack. I want to get this one, the Wither Backpack, because it's the next step towards the Ultimate Backpack, which involves like a dragon skull and a few other things. And then the Fiery Backpack, plate your backpack with netherite to make it immune to fire and lava. That's going to be a while, but you've got Conjuring up here, where you can actually craft Soulfire Forge, Soul Alloys, get a Scepter, Vanilla Hammers. We've already talked a little bit about that, because the Quartz Hammer is my favorite out of all of these, because it's just a perfect blend of utility and longevity. Artifality, hey, look at that. Welcome to the mod, find the ring, blah, blah, blah. Husbandry, we know. Here's one that's good. This is the beginning. This is the beginning of getting into, what's it called? I always forget the name of the mod. Is it what's the name of the mod? Industrial something. Hang on. Let's go inside and look at one of our machines that we've made here. Industrial Revolution. There we go. So the beginning is actually, this is Industrial Revolution. So as you can see, I've already gotten the solid infuser, coal generator, made the machine block, gotten Nicolite, all that kind of stuff. But we're going to be delving into this one pretty heavily come soon, because this is how you get power out of this mod right now. Now, something I want to mention that I've seen on the All of Faabric 4 Discord, and if you've been on that Discord or you've actually visited that Discord at all, you've always seen it as well. All of Faabric 4 is still a work in progress. It's not a completed mod pack just yet, because it only has a handful of the things that All of Faabric 3 had. They're still updating certain mods for 1.17, which is what All of Faabric 4 is actually made in. So if you download this pack and you're playing through this pack, just understand this is not everything in the pack just yet. It's everything that's been updated for 1.17, and they're still constantly working to update it further as we go along. If you want a full, complete pack and you don't really care about the 1.17 stuff like the lush caves and the glowberries and all that, I highly recommend going and getting All of Faabric 3, because it's a 1.16 pack and it is feature complete. So just let the buyer beware. Just understand that All of Faabric 4 is not a 100% complete pack. Having said all that, though, today we're not focusing on Industrial Revolution or advancements or anything like that. We are just going to be looking mostly at Charm and Adorn, which are two really cool aesthetic building mods that are built into this particular pack. We'll touch on Blockus real quick, but Charm and Adorn are two of my favorite packs. I love the aesthetic touches you can get out of them. So, for instance, this Copper Lantern is straight out of Charm. I love the way it looks. I love the differences in it. So if you go into your JEI here and just do @Charm, it'll give you everything that you've got in Charm. Now, some of these are not currently working right this second. Like the different bookshelves, oak bookshelves, birch, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. These are not working at the moment, or I don't know how to do them because I'm dumb. I'm one of the two. It's even money on either. So those are not functional right now for the bookshelves. The ebony bookshelf is, though. And the bookcases are also not 100% there yet. The bookcases will just basically make you sort of an oak bookcase. So if you go inside in my house, where I've done some work on things, and take a look. So this is what the bookcase looks like. And you right-click on it, and it will store all these different books and give you a really cool little sound there, too. So right now I'm storing all my enchanted books in this particular bookcase. Orange table lamp also is from Adorn. We'll get into that in just a second. But Charm has a lot of really cool things, like different types of ladders. The bundles are actually in this pack. So rather than waiting until 118, you can actually put bundles in there. The cooking pot, which I haven't made yet, but I want to experiment with, is another fun thing. And then all the different types of chests. So you've got like the oak chest, the oak trap chest, spruce chest, jungle, acacia. All these different types of chests are all in the pack right now. So you can actually get all those, as well as different types of barrels. Now, the barrels do not work with the expanded storage mod in this particular pack. So there's basically an expanded storage mod that allows you to make iron chests, gold chests, that's stuff like the stuff I've got downstairs. Unfortunately, if you make a birch barrel, say, it cannot be upgraded to an iron barrel or a gold barrel or a diamond barrel because those two mods don't really play nice with one another. So if you want those types of things, you're basically going to be making just normal types of barrels. So in other words, I've got a bunch of iron barrels up here. They look just like the standard barrel that you get from vanilla Minecraft, but they just have a lot more storage inside of them here. Same thing with these chests, the expanded storage chests, which have a really cool texture on them, mind you. But you cannot use these to upgrade them to gold, iron, diamond chests either, or obsidian chests, or whatever you want to do. So unfortunately, the expanded storage chests do not work with the charm chests. So you kind of have to just use regular chests for that one. Now, the other mod, and this is, and as I said, just really quick, just touching on the different stuff here. There's really not enough to go over this in real detail. I would suggest just play with different things. The ebony logs, by the way, like the ebony wood is just great. Black wood is really, really cool looking, especially with these bookshelves we're going to go into a little bit later here. Now, the other mod we want to go into is called Adorn. And Adorn has tons of cool stuff. So it's got sofas, like I've already built those. It's got the cupboards, which you saw in the last episode that I've got built over here. And also these crimson drawers. So the cupboards I'm keeping all my food in right now, for instance. So like I've got all my fruit in there. I've got all my spices in there. I've got all my full meals and stuff in here. And then the crimson drawers will give you not quite a chest's worth of storage, but it gives you a fair amount. So it gives you another storage option, which I really appreciate in this particular mod. And then of course you've got the kitchen sink that I put a little tripwire hook on to make it look like a faucet. and the shelves I also really like. So I've got birch shelves up here where I've got all my books on it. Various different books for various different mods, and all of my cooking utensils up there. So just a great way to give you sort of an extra type of storage on these. Now, oh my God, what have I done here? There we go. Now, other things you can do with this, you can make lamps, which I showed you upstairs. You can make what they call platforms, but are really more like tables. That's what I use for tables in this particular mod. Posts, which are alternative to fence posts, which don't attach to adjacent blocks, which is really nice if you want to build like that. Regular chairs, I mean, just the brick chimney. I've actually got one of those upstairs on my house right now. You can go see. Whoops, wrong button. There we go. So if you look up here, you can see I've put a brick chimney on this on top of a couple of just brick blocks. Give it a little bit more realism, and the fact that I'm using these in here to make it look like they go up to sort of a hidden flue in the ceiling, which I think is really cool looking. So those are, and then, so now you've got so here's Acacia coffee tables, the sofa, the lights, by the way, these table lamps, really easy to make. So if you go in here and just, I don't even have to do that. If you just click on, so let's find one of the table lamps. Where are they? So let's just do a regular old white one. It's literally a stone torch and white carpet. And stone torches are stupid easy to make as well. Like stone torches are a stone rod and charcoal or coal, and it's just 2 stone that makes 4 stone rods, just like wood basically. And these stone torches do burn brighter than regular torches, which is nice. And so it's real simple to make them, but the thing that I really like about this, check this out. If you right click, you can turn it off and on. So if you've got like a mob farm, or like a simple mob farm, and you want a way to turn it off and just light it all up, you could just put these lamps in there and just basically have a little keyhole you could get through, or like a trapdoor where you could just turn it on and off like that to turn on and off your mob farm, which is kind of cool. Let's sleep real fast and we can go into a little bit more detail here. And taking a quick step back, let's take a look at 2 other charm blocks, which are the kiln and the woodcutter. Now, the woodcutter does basically the exact same thing that the stone cutter does for wood, that the stone cutter does for stone. So let's go grab some wood here. Let's just grab the let's grab the crimson planks and the birch planks, so we can see what you can do with it here. So if you go up here and go over to the woodcutter, let's toss our crimson planks in, and here's everything you can make with crimson planks. You've got your ladder, your buttons, your signs, doors, all that different kind of stuff. And the nice thing is it's 1 for 1. So you don't have to waste 6 planks of wood to make 4 stairs anymore. You can make a 1 for 1 trade, just like you can with the stone cutter. Now, obviously, some blocks are going to have slightly more options. Like, you can't make boats out of crimson planks. I don't know why, by the way. I don't know why you can't make boats out of crimson planks, because I think that would be the coolest thing ever, is to be riding around on lava on a red boat. But, that's just me. So this is a really handy thing to have for builders. Plus, it has a cool texture on it, just like the stone cutter does. So it can be used for other things rather than just as a woodcutter. You could use it in for instance, like a lumber mill build to make it look like this is where the logs are being sent. Or you could put it on some type of steampunk contraption looking thing to give it the appearance of movement. All sorts of different things that you could do with this particular block. And then the kiln is another thing from Charm that is pretty much exactly like the smoker and the blast furnace, except for, I guess, kilnable things. So, in other words, like, if I come down here and we go over to, let's go to this. So, watch this. So, we're going to make another quartz block real fast. And let's put these away. And where's my random blocks? There they are. So, let's put in just some regular terracotta. So if we go over here, we'll make this into a block of nether quartz, block of quartz, and if we go over to our kiln and pop it in, you can see it smelts twice as fast as it would in a normal furnace. So, and then it turns it into smooth quartz, unsurprisingly. And I just got the "you're fired" thing. Now you put terracotta in there. Whoop, does it not do terracotta? It doesn't do terracotta. Okay. So it still doesn't turn terracotta into glazed terracotta. Okay, that's fine. But it does do clay. And it will turn clay into bricks. And once again, twice as fast as it would smelt in a normal furnace. So, and there's our brick. Ta-da, done. Now, you don't get any experience from doing that, unlike the smoker and the blast furnace does not even have. There's no experience comes out of this for doing it. So that's the trade-off you get for smelting up quartz and clay and a few other things. Let's see, what else do they have in here? So if we go to kiln, whoops, not at kiln, just regular old kiln. There we go. So we go over to kiln. Here's how you make it, and then let's see. There we go. Well, it says it will do terracotta. I wonder if it just... Oh, I had just regular terracotta. That's why. I'm an idiot. So it will do terracotta. You can turn nether bricks into cracked nether bricks. You can turn polished blackstone into cracked blackstone, cracked bricks. Glass, it will actually smelt sand into glass once again faster. And it's 0.1 XP. So, I mean, it's nowhere near as good as the smoker or the blast furnace for experience for doing all this stuff, but it does it a lot faster too. And honestly, how often are you melting 5 stacks of sand into glass to get experience out of it? Probably not very often. You're more looking at smelting stuff like, cobblestone into stone or cactus into green dye and things like that for your passive experience farms. So, another rack will turn another brick. I mean, just all the standard like terracotta and stone. Stone will make into smooth stone, cobblestone will put into stone, etc., etc., etc. So, I mean, it'll do all of the things that you would normally do in a furnace that would take twice as long, but instead, it takes half the time, which is really, really nice. So using all of these tricks, we're actually going to take today and use both Adorn and Charm, and then a little bit of Blockus, which we'll go into later, to dress up our zombie piglin spawner over here. Because right now it's just this ugly hole in the ground. And we don't want that. We want something that actually looks pretty, and something that's functional, and something we actually really enjoy using. So what we're going to do is we're going to use, if I can pull this up, we're going to use a fair amount of marble, some bluestone, some charred planks, and a few other things here, just to sort of put all of this together. And we're going to use Adorn and Charm to actually dress it up on the inside. So Blockus, another great mod, allows you to do things like these bluestone bricks. You can take bluestone and turn it into bricks. Marble obviously comes from Blockus in this particular case in this mod. You can turn marble into marble pillars, which are really cool looking. And charred planks might be one of my new favorite wood types, simply because of the trapdoors that you can get out of them. The trapdoors actually look like shelves, which is really, really cool. And charred planks, really easy. Just take planks, put them in a furnace. That's it. Any planks. Any planks except for warped wood and crimson wood. You can't do either of those. But any other planks will do to make charred planks out of. So if you have like, a wood farm that you've got a whole bunch of wood that you don't know what to do with, you can toss it in there, make the charred planks. It comes out this strange brownish gray color. But like I said, the trapdoors are where it's at with those, because the trapdoors just look amazing. So, all right, well, let's get started and see what we can build here for our zombie piglin spawner farm, and also for our enchanting setup that's going to go in here as well. And phase 1 of this build is complete. So we're using the bluestone bricks on the outsides, and we notice we insetted back one, and it's just basically to give us some sort of depth, a sense of depth and structure to this you wouldn't normally have if you just had this as a flat wall. So it just makes it a little bit more interesting to look at. So we've used that for the sides, and then we've got these marble pillars in place at 1, 2, 3 points around here, just to make it feel like it's supported, basically, and because it's an entryway that looks really, really good. So that is step the first. So let's see what we can do about this ceiling for the next step here. And we now have the roof in, at least for this portion of it. So we've gone with the polished blue night slab. Now there's bluestone and there's bluenite. Bluenite is much rarer than bluestone, but as far as slabs go, I really like the way it looks, because it goes with the bluestone bricks well enough so that it doesn't really clash. And then when you put the floor in, which is what we're going to do next with, oh my god, I've got way too much stuff in my inventory, with these charred planks, which is what we're going to do here with the slabs, the grays and the blues really work together really, really well. But that's another reason why we also have these marble pillars, is we need some color to sort of offset all this gray and blue that we've got around here. So we're going to do white, and then we're going to do the sea lanterns for lighting, probably in the floor, just to give it a little bit more color and a little bit more vibrance, because otherwise it's a very grayish blue kind of construction. So yeah, so let's go ahead and get the flooring in down here, and then we can work on our entryway and cleaning up the outside, because if you think this is done, you are mistaken, because this kind of stands out a little bit. So we're probably going to see if we can extend the mountain with some of our giant chests full of dirt that we have, just to make it look like it blends in a little bit better. And then we'll put some sort of entryway on that I'm kind of thinking of in the back of my head, but we'll get to that in just a second. And our flooring is now in, and so is our enchanting setup. So I used 16 bookshelves because 15 was just an odd number and it didn't look right, so I made an extra one. I really love the texture on these ebony bookshelves. And these are paper trapdoors from Blockus, and they're real easy to craft. So if you go in here and just go paper, there we go. So paper, well, those are paper doors. Paper trapdoors are just 6 pieces of paper. Paper doors, 6 pieces of paper the other way, and then paper walls are just 4 pieces of paper. I haven't experimented the walls or the doors yet. You can also make paper blocks, which is another white block, which is nice. You can make a burned paper block, which is sort of a grayish, strange texture, but I really like these trapdoors. So they kind of look like windows almost, but not quite. So I'm really a fan of those. And then these are the charred wooden trapdoors, which I love the way these look. They're just so cool looking, and that basically is hiding our storage for this right now. So speaking of which, hey guys, it's so satisfying. Got to figure out a way to keep everything in there, but I'll work on that later. So we've got pretty much everything put in here. We've got our lighting on the floor. We've got some things on the walls. Now these I'm going to actually have for something a little bit different. So over here, oh, there we go. The server backup almost got me. So over here, I'm thinking we're going to put all of our workstations. So let's put that there. Where did my pickaxe go? There it is. We're going to put this one here, and then we'll put our anvil. Where'd it go? There it is. Right there. So we've got all of our major workstations for all this just right here. And this wall is going to be basically held back for something a little bit different. But we're going to need a few other things for that. Plus, we're also going to need to do some more with the front over here and also around in this particular area. And we're going to add in some more light, because while these sea lanterns are giving off plenty of light, just more than enough to deal with mob spawning in here, these are a little dark and I don't like that. So we're going to go fix that real fast too. All right, y'all ready for this one? we have a trophy wall, and this adds so much to this particular build. I mean, it's a bunch of zombie piglins. How can we not have gold in here? So we've got gold lanterns, which are gold nuggets and a torch, real simple. A piece of gold chain, a bunch of swords on the warped wood shelves, the block of gold, the legacy block of gold, and an even older legacy block of gold over here. So we just got a couple of blocks of gold, some gold bars. I mean, you gotta have gold. You gotta have gold in a zombie piglin build. That's just all there is to it. You have to. It's like a law or something. So then we put a little table over here with a couple of chairs for people just to sit around and talk while the zombie piglins sit over there and grunt themselves. Oh my goodness, we got another banner, and that one goes there. So now we have 5 of the zombie piglin banners, and we've got room for more over here. So always room for more. So we have a whole bunch of gold on this wall. We're going to probably put more over on this wall too. We've got our workstations there. The interior of this, I'd say, is pretty much done for the time being. Now, I might add a few things here and there as we go, but I think just with little bits of, from Blockus and Adorn and Charmed, and putting in some of these different kind of things that are more zombie piglin-esque, like the gold on the wall, I think that's really cool. I think that's really right up the alley of this particular build. And it adds so much to it as far as color goes. So, I mean, we have a lot of browns and grays and blues. And now you've got this, like, splashes of color on this wall and on this wall, and I really like it. I really think this came out really well on the inside. So now we just have to do the entryway and sort of cover it up from the outside. Now, the entryway we're going to do a couple of things with. I've got some more of these gold bars, but I also have these gates that I've never tried before. Whoops. One too many there. So, and how do they open? Do they open? Okay. So does that go down like that? No. Does it go down like this? Like that? There we go. That's what I wanted it to look like. And I wonder if it needs... I wonder if it needs a pressure plate or something to open. I bet it does. Let's use... What do we want to use here? Can I make a marble plate? I can. Hey, cool. Marble pressure plates. Let's see if that actually... Yep. That's exactly what it needs. Okay, cool. Good. So now we know how they open. We can add buttons to the outside, and we can put in pressure plates on the inside. So... Perfect. All right, let's sleep, and we'll start on that. Everyone ready for the completed build on this thing? There we go. We have the entrance all done, I believe. So I went with something fairly simple. Nothing spectacular. So we basically just got a continuation of the marble pillars outside with these golden bars and the golden gates with some chiseled marble in the middle and another golden lantern here. So lots of gold in this particular build. And, of course, we've got marble buttons, which blend right in. So you just press the marble button, go inside, and you can sit here and kill zombified piglin to your heart's content. There we go. And then you just go out when you're ready to go, and we're going to dress this up a little bit here as well with, we got to get rid of that and put down some dirt there, and we'll do sort of like probably a pathway going up here and coming around this direction once we get some more dirt in to determine exactly what this is going to look like. So speaking of which, it's dirt time, but this build is now done. So let's get our dirt in, sort of make a little pathway, and then see how this looks from the outside. Well, I think the outside of that is close enough for government work at this point. I mean, no mountain you ever build in Minecraft is going to look 100% natural like that. It's just not. I mean, you can't build the same way that the computer can randomly generate things. So it's never going to look 100% natural, but I'd say that's pretty close. I mean, as soon as the grass grows in especially, it'll look pretty natural. And then we just got to put in a little bit of a pathway over here, going over to our temple of gold, basically. I'm thinking about putting something on the top there, but I'm not sure what yet. Maybe slabs, maybe stairs. I'm honestly not sure. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and get our pathway in here, going back over to our little area. Whoops, I forgot about that. And then when you dig it up, it digs it up as a path because reasons. Let's just do that, and we'll put that. We'll just hide that like a cat. There we go. Yeah, I don't know what the secondary path block would be used for. I think it's just kind of ugly, but maybe that's just me. But so this is going to go back over here to our little pathways that we've got. We'll go ahead and fill it in a little bit more later and put some lights, of course, just like we do with the rest of the place, with some copper lanterns along the side, just like everywhere else we've got, and then leading up into our little temple here. So I'm pretty happy with this. I think it actually turned out pretty well, and we'll probably dress it up a little bit more later on too. So we'll just sort of see about that. But for now, I think it's time to slaughter some zombified piglins and get myself a bunch of experience, do some enchanting, and just generally take advantage of the fact that we've got this thing built. So I hope you enjoyed today's little foray into Charm, Adorn, Blockus, and a touch of Promenade here and there. I know this is kind of a different kind of episode from what I've been doing. It's not heavy on building, and it's not really heavy on adventure either. It's more just tutorializing, honestly. But I know when I first got a hold of these mods a couple of years ago now, I didn't know what the heck I was doing, so I just sort of ignored them. But look at all of the cool things that you can do with those, mainly with those 3 mods, with Charm, Adorn, and Blockus. I mean, just some of the cool things that you can do with them, and just dressing up a otherwise kind of, vanilla build and make it look like something really, really special. And I'm really happy with the way that this turned out. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had a good time. By all means, please, if you feel like it, hit the like and subscribe buttons, because every YouTuber has to tell you that, apparently. If you liked the video, fantastic. Likes definitely help out the algorithm to get it out to more people. The subscribe button, you can hit if you want to. If you really enjoy this kind of content, if you have watched my other vanilla series and you're coming over here because of that, or if you just found a link on All of Faabric where I posted in the showcase, and if you enjoy it, by all means, hit subscribe. More people equals more fun. But no matter whether you subscribe or like or do any of those things, make sure you go out tonight, play some games, have some fun. I'll see you all again really soon. I got some piglins to deal with. And now I'm invisible. It's a floating sword. Have a good night, folks.